Let me start by emphasizing that the solution given here is only one way of tackling the problem. It is my attempt at creating the model with a few decisions that will no doubt differ from person to person. But, on the other hand, there are also a few of the steps that are critical and should never be omitted when creating most models. Also, working only in object mode would not be how we should attempt this model if we had the freedom and knowledge to work in edit mode, where we could create the same result with less work and fewer faces. One last point before we start. The narrative will give a description of each command, but you won't see the key presses used if you're not sure of the keys pressed to perform an operation such as move along the global z-axis. Then you really need to go back and rewatch some of the training videos so that you have a firm set of skills before watching later videos. Okay, let's get started. A casual glance at the table suggests that we make use of cones to create the basic shape. We're not trying for an exact dimensional match. In any case, we can't know the actual size of the table from the picture. All we're trying to do is create a model of a table with the same general shape. We'll add a cone with the default 32 vertices, radius 1 set to 1 meter and radius 2 to half a meter. Now we add another cone, again with 32 vertices, radius 1 set to half a meter, radius 2 to 3 meters and depth to half a meter. Next, we'll move the latest cone along the global z-axis so that its base sits on the top of the first cone. And at this point we could say the table is complete. But the top of the table doesn't have any thickness to it. It looks like it has a razor-sharp edge. So to make the top look better, we'll add a cylinder. After a bit of trial and error, which I've omitted from the video. The overall effect will look better if we double the number of vertices on the cylinder to 64, setting the radius to 3 and the depth to 0.1. Moving the cylinder up to fit around the top of the second cone, we get a good approximation of the table in the original image. Of course, at this point, we have 3 separate objects, so we'll want to join them together into a single unit. Are we finished yet? Not unless we have created a table that we expect giants to sit round. We need to scale the whole thing down so that it's around 1 meter in height. Finished? No. Remember, it's important when we've been resizing things to apply the scale and, when necessary, the rotation. Failure to do this may result in distortion in the space-time continuum of your virtual world. Another element that needs to be fixed is the position of the table's origin. Where it ended up when we joined the 3 meshes together depends on the order in which those meshes were selected, since the origin for the complete object matches that of the last mesh to be selected. We'll move it back to the center of the table's bounding box. Finished? Maybe. We might want to sit the base of the table on the x-axis when viewed from the front, or maybe reposition the origin of the table and give it a memorable name in the outliner editor. Or perhaps you'd like to assign it a basic material.